Hey guys, Scripture here with another video. This is something I've actually wanted to talk about for a really long time, but with everything else going on and all the craziness and Star Wars shows and things happening at Disney Lucasfilm and blah, 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 that I haven't really had a chance to talk about it. So I want to talk about just if there is a little too much here in terms of the Anakin versus Obi-Wan duel on Mustafar. Now, when you're watching the movie, there's a huge amount of time that goes by. It's like a half an hour or 40 minutes. And of course, you have George switching between shots of them fighting to Yoda and Palpatine fighting. And both duels are over the top. They're doing all types of crazy moves. They're doing a lot of unnecessary moves. Some of it is incredible, in my opinion, and some of it, in my opinion, is kind of over the top. Like when they're spinning the sabers and not hitting each other for no reason. Some of the over the top flips and kicks and things. It felt at times like it was more of a superhero movie than it was a Star Wars movie. And part of that isn't necessarily just because of the scene itself and how long it is, because it's actually not as long as people think. That's kind of what I was getting at. But it's that it's so different than what we saw in the OT with lightsaber duels. I think when you look at something like Jedi, that was about as perfect as you're going to get of the balance of guys making moves, but also keeping it within the realm of semi-realism more. And so the thing is like when you watch this duel, first of all, from the moment that Obi-Wan ignites his lightsaber to the moment Anakin gets his limbs cut off is about 6.5 minutes. So it's actually not nearly as long as what people think it is, even though it feels, like I said earlier, much, much longer because of the time lapse in the film itself. The original Obi-Wan versus Vader fight from A New Hope is about 2 minutes long. And of course, it doesn't feature nearly this much, bravado and flipping and kicking and crazy, but it still had the same weight to it. So then the question becomes, are you just having this over-the-top duel with all these moves and stuff just for the entertainment purpose side of it? And I would say the argument with that would be yes. And then you had that guy come out with the remake of the Vader Obi-Wan second duel. It's, yes, the second duel. All the crap in Kenobi didn't happen. And they redid it in such a way that it is a little more over the top and more in line with what happens on Mustafar. For me, this duel on Mustafar really treads the line between being really cool, but then at the same time losing me. When they start, running around on the lava and jumping on droids' heads, and I felt like it was totally unnecessary. I felt like the weight of the two characters fighting in and of itself was more than enough. We didn't need all of this crazy entertainment side of it. So for me, it was a little bit over the top, a little bit too much, and didn't fit in with A New Hope. It was just too much. And I've said this about Yoda too. Yoda fighting with a lightsaber against Palpatine to me was kind of corny. To me, these are both the peak of Force users in their respective sects. And to even have them using a lightsaber to me was kind of corny. Why would the Emperor be fighting Mace Windu with a lightsaber when he can shoot lightning? Why would he be fighting any of those Jedi? Why would he even need to do that? Right? He should just be able to use the Force and do stuff. So that's kind of where I was coming from with that. And then they do that. They use the Force a lot once they get into the Senate room, and then the lightsabers and are gone, and they just start flinging podiums at each other and different things like that. It's super duper over the top. And again, it doesn't totally feel that crazy because, again, you have the shots going back and forth between the equally over-the-top fight on Mustafar and them on Coruscant in the Senate. But when you step back and really look at it, these scenes, this particular scene on Mustafar is very, very overdone. There's a lot of times where you're like, why is this going this way? I still like it. I still enjoy the film. It's just one of my criticisms. I don't just automatically love everything that George did. And there are some things, particularly in the prequels, that I find a little bit not great. I want to know what you guys think. Like, to you, is it a little bit over the top, floating around on droids and all this stuff over lava and some of the moves they made and some of the over the top stuff they made? Do you think it was a little too much, or do you think it was just right? How do you feel about how it fits into the fight on Mustafar? I'll throw this last thing out there. I know a lot of people will say, well, Obi-Wan's an old man, and Vader is in a mechanical suit, so he can't move around as well. And that's kind of the rationale they give for why the fight is so much shorter and so much different and less over the top, which are reasonable arguments to make. But for me, the Mustafar battle is still a little too much. They should have toned it down a bit. I don't think it needed to be this crazy. It's still cool, but it to me, it's too much. Let me know in the comment section what you think. If it's too much or just right, or how you see it fits with the original duel from A New Hope, from the original Star Wars. If you like this content, please like, subscribe, always helps the channel. Feel free to check out anything else on my channel. Have yourselves a really good day.